Watch out for, a huge eye suddenly appears in the sky. Everyone is staring up at the sky with no expression. They were as motionless as wooden men. Only Mary was awake at that moment. She walked down the street, trying to ask everyone what was going on, but no one paid any attention to her. They were all slowly losing consciousness. Dumbfounded Mary had to remain dumbfounded. A woman who seemed to be fine, asking Mary how long the repairs would take. Mary was even more confused when she heard this. The woman looked like she wasn't too bright, so she stopped talking to her. Mary runs home in fear, meeting an FBI halfway. She rushed up to ask, "What the hell is going on here?" But the FBI smiled and said, "This is just a maintenance of the world system. They've been notified for a long time." A confused Mary was even more confused, asking the FBI what to do. But they said, "We'll be fine if we wake up." After saying that he too was frozen in place, Mary had to run home in a panic. Fortunately, husband Mike is still in good shape. She rushed to describe to him what had happened outside. Suddenly it dawned on him, "It's maintenance time. I can't believe I forgot." Mary was completely baffled this time. She asked her husband what the hell was going on. However, he said, "You don't have to act anymore. My name is not Mike. My real name is Smith." The husband saw that the woman was on the verge of tears, so he asked tentatively, "Don't you really know who you really are?" Then he told Mary when he woke up, he would find someone to help Mary, and then he stopped where he was. The man looked up into the sky. Instantly he was frozen in place, standing there motionless with his mouth open. All the pedestrians on the street did the same. The woman didn't know what to do when she saw the scene. She hid in fear and went home. But soon a strange man enters the room, Mary wielding a knife in self-defense. She told them to get out of her house. They claimed to be customer service staff. They said they wanted to fix the woman in question. They also turned the knife right out of her hand. Mary looked on in disbelief at what was happening before her eyes. They were trying to explain the world to her, showed her an introductory video. According to the video's explanation, Mary was now in a place is a virtual game world. Millions of players around the world can play in their own deep sleep through their professional technology, synchronized with the server to enter this world. And each gamer's brain is like the mainframe of a computer. The manufacturer can allow them to sleep through the hours to experience a life very different from the real one. And the end of the game character's day is exactly the same as in real life. Gamers wake up at the same time. After watching the video presentation, Mary still couldn't believe it. At this point, the customer service continued to tell her, in reality, she was a man, and everything she is now is his creation. She thought for a while and then asks why she doesn't remember. The customer service continued to explain to her, "The reason you can't remember anything, it's because you entered the game a few hours after last night. You had a heart attack and fell into a coma. That's why her head suddenly hurt in the restaurant. And now he's still in hospital in real life." But at the same time, he was still in sync with the game. The customer service continued to tell her, the game company had never encountered such a situation before, so they went into the game on purpose to get the woman to stop the synchronization. Maybe then he could wake up in real life. But of course, it also meant that Mary's life in this world would be terminated. She refused on the spot. The real him was a complete stranger to her, and Mary had just been promoted today. Why should she have to sacrifice her life for a stranger? Customer service was in a difficult position, had to ask their superiors if we should end the sync. At that very moment, a woman appeared out of nowhere. Mary saw the strange woman in front of her. She looked very strange. The woman comes up to her and tells her she is Mary's real-life wife. Meanwhile, the woman angrily warns the customers not to move Mary. She loves her husband very much, so she doesn't want to force the woman to do what she wants. Meanwhile, the system gives a message. World maintenance will end in 20 minutes. The woman leads her to the park. Mary is adamant that she will not go anywhere until the maintenance time is over. Mary then walks straight ahead. The woman rushed to catch up with her. They sat on a bench. The woman told her about their past. They have been married for 15 years, with a lovely child of their own. She tells Mary the details of their marriage, hoping to jog her memory. And will Mary remember the past when faced with a woman? This woman is sitting on a stool, persuaded Mary to end the game immediately. If she waited until maintenance time was over, she would be gone forever. Mary looked at the woman's heartfelt expression. She was somewhat moved. She said to her,
"Don't quit."
The woman was moved by these words. She turned her head and gave her a kiss. Then Mary agreed to try, but she found she couldn't do it. She wanted to apologize to the woman, only to find that she had already gone offline. Mary had to turn around and go back. Meanwhile, the streets began to change. She had to avoid being tracked by customer service. Running back to the hotel alone, Mary pulled out a random set of keys, walking into the room only to find a group of people still on hold. She gives the man a tentative push. He falls straight to the floor. Mary looks out the window to find a pigeon tapping on her window, as if to tell her something. She was about to see what was going on, but the pigeon made a strange noise. The pigeon then spread its wings and flew away. Then 4 customer service agents followed the sound. They were standing in the street of the hotel. Mary had to turn around and run. At the same time, the world maintenance will end in 5 minutes. The 4 agents started to split up to find Mary to escape from the customer service. Mary went straight to the rooftop of the hotel. As the maintenance time draws near, Mary met a man on the rooftop. He claimed to be a senior customer service agent, but he doesn't tell Mary to get offline. Instead, he told her if she wanted to stay on, all she had to do was sign a form. Once she signed this contract, it meant that whatever happened to her in the future, none of the game companies are responsible, and persuaded her to forget about her real self. This came as a great surprise to Mary. She now knew that she was the virtual one. How could she forget? As soon as the big ball in the sky appeared, it was a constant reminder to her she wasn't real. It broke Mary instantly. She felt like she should go out to rescue her real self. But customer service told her that her real well wasn't just having a heart attack, but that she deliberately drank sleeping pills and then, to play the last synchronization game, he had died 45 minutes earlier. Wells told Mary, even if she logged out of the game now, there was no place to go back to. She just needs to remember one rule: don't break your persona, and she can continue to run the hotel here. After saying that, the senior customer service agent simply disappeared. At the same time, the system started to announce the countdown to maintenance time. The big ball in the sky also faded away. As the maintenance time ends, the game starts again. Millions of players log back in. The game world will return to normal again. It was as if nothing had ever happened, and the women decide to live in this world for good, to continue running the hotel. We will never know what creates reality, but in this game world, Mary gradually finds a meaning to her existence.